If the world makes you feel ordinary, we assure you it's lying. We urge you to find your own peculiar talent. Perhaps we may be of some assistance. This announcement brought to you by
Hey everybody, it's Deluxe, and I am in a Tethmos mood. This isn't the best deck out there by a long shot. I don't think we're going to be super win category, but it's a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a very flexible design space. I'm not sold on everything I've got here. That being said, this is what I'm playing today, and it's kind of a toolbox of hate bears. So Nim Chimpskey and Shirazamon showing up. All right, all kinds of new emotes and such. So yeah, so I call this Teth with a cute little moniker of Treefolk enabled tribe heroes. So why is it tribe? Well, the red herring in this list, it's not much of one because it can really kill fast if you get it right, is Tireless Tribe with the Umbra. We can pitch out Whiteout into the yard and do the old, return the lands. Very, very, very rarely does this happen. So much so that I've had like 3 builds this week and I keep taking it out. Because it's only good when you got the combo, but I actually put it back in because I figured in the chat, if somebody likes this list, they're going to be like, did you think about Whiteout? And it's like, well, yeah, I mentioned it at the top of the show, and I was about to mention why I didn't do it. And I figured, you know what, I'm just going to put it in there so I don't get those comments. Anyway, we have 20 lands. This has been the biggest problem with this list. I had all 4 of the Karoo lands, the Celestia Sanctuary, whatever it is, and it was just, I'd get screwed, I'd get flooded, I'd get screwed, I'd get flooded. And for some reason, going with just this super basic package so I can turn on Whiteout a little bit more seems to be hitting better. Of course, I'm probably just jinxed myself, and that's going to be, we're going to have a terrible draw show or something. Let's try to stay positive. We're going to have 4 bodyguards in this. I did have 2 benevolent blessings because of the ability to go search for it, but Commune can do that as well. And Tethmos can go grab this in a pinch. I was running 3 Tethmos for a while too, but made some inroads, wanted to get some Journey to Nowheres in here and such, but enough about that. 3 Sentinel's Eyes, these just keep coming back. Skyfish can recast them on Tethmos to go get back a lot of our dudes. The tribe, we've obviously got Mutagenic saves your dudes, saves Seeker of the Way, and also gets them back with Tethmos if you need to. Undesirable a little bit because you got to do it at the end of their turn, and doesn't add to combat damage. Vessel of Nascency, I just needed a little bit more. I didn't want to go all in with the Benefaction of Ronus. Cost 3, it can feel like a time walk against control elements and such. 1 Whiteout with 3 Commune with the Gods is where this deck really shines. Whiteout goes to the yard and you can just keep bringing it back. Seeker of the Way, Skyfisher, Journey. It'll be funny today if we can actually cast Whiteout, like maybe fairies will be running at us and we can do something like that. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring chat. Pauper Tim, subscribe. Thank you so much, man. Coop with the red screw flood. Yep. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of that today, hexxen ruge. So yeah, I'm just, what I had a few killer decks, but I just wasn't in the mood to play them. And I guess I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm sure this isn't going to do that great. I'd be happy with a 50-50 outing today. We got 4 Strands, 2 Priests, and the 3 Umbras, but it's a very mid-rangey deck. So I don't want to run into other mid-range decks. Note on that, Nim Chimpskey, so please don't challenge me. The Seeker of the Way, it's really kind of a beats with like the threat of going over the top with this. And there's just a lot of fun. If you follow me on Facebook, there's I had a game 2 where, I was able to, I think I gut-shotted my own Tethmos to bring back Scattershot at the end of turn without any forest mana and stuff. But anyway, let me jump over to the thing and then we'll discuss the sideboard in case our ability to find an opponent is lacking here. So we'll stay here, and if we do see Tron right out of the gates, we are going to auto scoop because I don't know what the deal is. This will be like the 5th week in a row. All right, 1 Oblivion Ring, all 4 Dust to Dust, which is the main reason you want to be playing planes these days. 2 Dawnbringer Clerics, they really shine in this list, being able to act as a Fairy Macabre and white and destroying enchantments. 1 Standard Bearer, I had 1 main for a while and 1 on the side, but Just cross that as we get to it. 3 Scattershot Archers and 4 Gut Shots, mostly because we can just keep doing this trick over and over and over again. So, yeah, I know, Pauper Tim, that was a good night. I was a wee bit inebriated, but usually does well for the creativity of the deck ability, not so much the playability. So, wow, hello from Russia, back at ya. Kumer, I'm not quite sure. I won't even try it, but thank you for joining us. Let's try this one out and see if we draw okay. We do. Happy with this land. We'll keep this. A little bit of a slow roll. Sometimes that snow-covered forest looks like the plains one, right? Crazy, crazy. I would play a rune, but we have enough green sources in this that I don't want to get handicapped if I need to activate it more often than not. Got to be careful with that with runes. They get a little... You have to activate it with white, unlike the Circle of Protection. So we're going to get our land on board. Be happy if we draw into another plane here. And so the cooler thing with this, as long as we hit our 3 mana, is, yes, hey, the deck's actually listening to me, is normally you play a Seeker of the Way, and you've all been there, and you're like, God, don't have removal. And it's early in the game, so of course their hand's full of removal. We don't care now. It's like free duress I'm always talking about. Ooh, Groundskeeper showing up. All right. Alrighty. Well, let's see what we can do here. Do I get that online or the other thing? Return a basic land from your graveyard to your hand. All right. I don't think he's going to be doing much blocking there. Do we really want to get that out of the way? Yeah, we've got Skyfishers. But just in case he's got a trick here, I'm going to go like this. We'll rock like here. Turn on the Seeker. Get some life out of the deal. Turn this up here. Well, if he can kill his own dude, I might have taken out my own tribe with that. And with access to Skyfishers, we feel pretty good about that. So now you've got the secret with the tribe. So one of the cooler things about this list, there's not many. It's just a lot of fun to play. But our hands like this, you look completely neutered. But, you know, you could pitch Strands in a pinch. Or, you know, if Tethmos was out and we had like another Seeker, you could just pitch it and then bring it back like at instant speed. So pretty cool. Translated as Ghost from Sindarin. Ooh, cool. I like anything to do with ghosts. My buddy Andre just visited us for Thanksgiving. He's lived in Russia almost up until he was about 15. Came back and good times. I like looking a little defenseless here, so I'm going to play this first. And I guess we'll play this. Might as well not have to pay 2 life if we do anything with it, right? We'll attack. See what we're going to do. Now, I could do the thing just to be funny, but might as well get in for some damage here. We'll target this, and no sense in paying life, right? If we saw a bunch of removal here, I might be tempted to keep the Mutagenic for a combat trick, but yeah, cast down might happen, whatever. Got him on the run a little bit. Feeling all right. Oh, it's a language. Very cool. I sure love the architecture out there. It was funny. There was a, right when my day started, it was about an hour ago, my wife, you know, was sitting there and she was reading on her phone, and there was something about some president of some other country, you know, voted a bill dead, but the way it was read, it was like president dead, and so we thought for like a minute that, you know, Biden had passed or something. We were like, what? Oh, I was like, that would have been a trip. Alrighty. Groundskeeper or that. When that dude dies, he gets a whole lot of lands out of the deal, so that's kind of strange. Let's, I'm just going to attack him here. I'm going to return just a basic here. So we can hard cast the Strands if he wants to do the Blockaroonie. Otherwise, we'll just come on over. Tribes just almost serves as a standard bearer in this kind of matchup, right? And Prismatic Strands never quite dead, so we're just going to cast it here. Just try to stay on tempo here. And we'll call green. Why not? As we gain a bunch more life. Come on over. We're getting a whole lot of mana for something. I don't know what it is. Got an active Strands in the yard. That always feels nice and safe. Still not quite sure what our opponent's up to here. Got a whole lot of mana shenanigans going on. Something big coming down. There he is again. Beautiful artwork on that one, if you haven't seen it. I used to design quite a bit around that card. There are a lot of lands showing up. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I think I'll keep the tribe back unless something else comes our way. Yep. You know, we might be walking into a Evan Carr's Justice hand here, but we've got Strands in the yard and our stuff is very tough, so I'm just going to attack here. If he's got the Justice, good for him. I'm going to keep these critters down. All right, he's going to keep us honest. Nope. Here we go. And all right, well, then I won't use it. Nothing going down. Feeling kind of naked here. Don't have any way to bring back Tethmos. But if our opponent doesn't find a way to gain some life, we might be going to game 2 pretty quick. I'm not sure. This is some super land brew, right? What is that? Golgari. Oh, Dark Heart of the Wood. And that one, if I'm not mistaken, what is that? Sacrifice Forest to gain life. Yeah, he's going to be gaining all kinds of life here. That will not be fun. And generate. Here we go. Hey, we like that. Let's do that now. Get rid of an attacker. Probably looking at a moment's peace here, I would guess. I'm not quite sure. This little trick's kind of scaring me away, so I'm going to take this dude out. If he's got a trick, let's see it now, not when I'm attacking. All right. What's the trick? Oh, all right. Oops. Let's see. Okay. Oh, all right. W. Some 1 toughness things going on there. Still not quite sure. Dark Heart of the Wood looks to be a problem, so I want to bring in both our clerics. Strands, I could probably get rid of at least 2. I'm going to lose Whiteout, which is going to be a common theme today. It's there as just kind of a, well, when it happens, it's pretty awesome, but for the most part. Journeys were timely. Dawnbringer I like. Maybe an Oblivion Ring. Don't want to lean too heavily on that. Rock like this. I don't think Gut Shot will really be worth it here. That's a pretty, you know, you've got a target. We can protect. We can destroy artifacts. We can destroy enchantments, and then we can catch anything that we miss. So, and we're gaining enough life that we're usually able to hang out. That's why it's just sometimes you're in a mid-rangey feel. Got to go with this. Now, about 3 years ago, I played a version similar to this when Astrolabe was around, and it had the the presence of Gond lock and the Umbra angle, so you could kind of search out. I was tempted to play that, but well, we don't like this hand. I mean, if we draw a land, this is beautiful, but we got to mulligan this. That Arctic Treeline is gorgeous, and no lands. Okay, this is what I was expecting a little bit more today. Okay, we'll keep this. Astrolabe era. Yeah, Nim Chimpskey, well said. He's the yoga man. Dark Heart of the Wood. Love that. Love it. Love it. I like anybody that builds around it, too. Yeah, Pauper Tim last night, also known as the Orange Mitten. Beware if you run into that guy. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. And we got to get rid of some stuff. So we'll get rid of that. And I'll get rid of the Barrens. Done. But he had the coolest little... what was that? Sacred Cow familiar lock deck going. I think that's really close. Pauper Tim, I would love to see that list if you could send it. Maybe I'll finally brave something like that. Who knows? Well, the standard debate here. I'm just going to get aggro online straight out of the gates. Scare them with Tribe. If nothing else shows itself, we'll probably drop the Treeline and the Sentinel's Eyes. It comes back all the time, so it acts as like a... What would you call it? Well, there goes our attack plan, right? Unless an Umbra shows up. So we're always getting rid of stuff as far as, things die and whatnot. We can keep bringing stuff back with... this will be a little bit more challenging. We can keep bringing stuff back with the escape mechanics. So, you know, throws in the yard, you go eat some lands, and then boom, you're activating Tethmos again. So it's a neat little sneaky way. I was trying 4. I thought it was a bit too much, especially with all of our mill stuff. So I went down to 3. There's the deck list. GW Bully, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you could... It's hard to get away from that mindset when you dig and throw stuff in the graveyard. It's like, well, you might as well make it a toolbox, right? Force them to attack you on multiple fronts. This is going to be a bit more of a fight. They've only got 1 card left, but their development's a lot faster and stronger than ours. And, yeah. All right, well, I prefer planes over the other. I'll just keep that out. If we eat an edict here, I'd be happy because we can bring Tethmos out and then throw Sentinel's Eyes on him and get Tribe back. It's not instant, but it's still pretty fun. I just kind of I want to see what this deck's going to do. I think he's just going to gain too much life for us to really be able to do much. So maybe I need to start hoarding lands and such. There's the problem child. Man, you just sacrifice a forest. There's no tapping or nothing. You got to love that. Gain 3. Maybe they'll get a bit reckless. Look at this. Return it from your graveyard to your hand. He can just keep gaining life. Yep. I ain't going to go away. We've got removal. We might be able to target it. Maybe he'll be silly and attack, right? Can use the... where's our cleric? I would really like to see whatchamacallit. Well, I guess I could... Let me get that online just so I can start posing a threat here. I'd really like to see Dawnbringer Cleric show up here, or actually Commune, because Commune will probably find it, and if it doesn't, we can grab anything we want. Usually when you Commune, you want to grab Tethmos if you can, because everything else can just target them and bring back what you didn't pick. Unless you're really hunting for that Treefolk, which is going to be key here because we're going to be able to attack for 3, given that it's boosts the toughness. And don't sleep on the fact that it's a there's going to be a long uphill fight here. Don't sleep on the fact that it's totem armor. So if it dies of natural causes, meaning you're not sacrificing it or getting it bounced, it'll be there still. Doesn't even leave. So very cool. Dawnbringer's Coffee. I know I should have. I think, did I have that? Do I have that one queued up? We've got Hydroblast Soda and Leonin Dengard Clump and Seal for the commercials today, as far as custom commercials. I'm playing an old school one too. So, alrighty. Well, other than maybe hoping that we submit because of excessive life gain, I'm not quite sure what the other game plan is here. All right. Well, there's another Tethmos. I'm just going to start smacking in here for this. There's no target here, but we'll just go like this. Attack. Keep that other Tethmos in hand, just in case something goes down. Oh, it's fine, Nim Chimpskey. I don't know. I'm pretty chillax today, man. Just, like I said, got to play what you like, and I'm sure this isn't going to do wonders for the win column, but it's a neat design space. And you know, it's funny, every time I play you know, like a standard, like every once in a while I'll get an email like, you know, you got to play Boros Bully or you know, one of the Delver, or let's say what's the other one, Brute Squad. And whenever I play like a really established high-end, you know, higher tier list, I think because I'm known for it so much, it's just lost. People just, the view count goes way down, or like Hexproof. It was just like creative deck lists are up here, and then the second I do a standard one, it's like goes down like that. So, which is cool for me because I love that stuff. So I'll come on over. I'm happy to kill some stuff. He's probably going to block with the Elder and Sack. He could go all in here, but all right. Mtmentat with the propaganda hype. Thank you, sir. Boy, our deck is just really having very boring draws here. One Commune and we'll be in this and have some shenanigans going on, but I might lose on time and excessive life gain until then, right? Yo, yo, yo. Oh, Skyfishers for all kinds of things. Early screw, bouncing Sentinel's eyes if their opponent's not of the removal persuasion. Can even bounce Tethmos. And then, you know, with Journeys in there and... oh, what's that monk that gains all the life that we're playing? It's got the same haircut as me. Seeker of the Way. That's quite the bald deck, isn't it? These guys are bald too. Oh, wait, no, those are just helmets. Who knows? Maybe they got a full head of hair. No, those guys are... Grapple with the best. That might be a card that I missed. Grapple with the past. That's a pretty cool little card because it's not of the ones that you just milled. So, yeah, I might like that better than the Vessel of Nascency, even though I can't search for it. I don't know. Maybe the Nascency is better. Who knows? Yeah, we'll probably lose on time if we're going to lose this one. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Let's not waste any time, shall we? I'll play this, and I think I'm going to be done with lands now. I'll pop this. Well, we've got a Bodyguard, which isn't going to do too much good, and we've got a Skyfisher, so we'll bring out the Skyfisher. Yeah, we'll just play him here. Probably should have attacked first with the dude. Bring back this. And then next turn, we'll at least be able to start hitting in the air. But even here, we're not defenseless. It looks like it. Prismatic can be super sneaky. If this was an aggro deck, you know, you just discard it and play it. One Punch Man. I did the math on... excuse me. I did the math on how much money I've saved over the years with just giving myself my own simple haircuts. It'd be pretty silly to pay for this haircut. And gosh, it was like the amount like for a new car by now. It was crazy. Efficient too. Sometimes you just wake up and you're ready to go. My son's in the oldest is in the military, and he's finding that out now. He's like, wow, I really like this haircut. He goes, I don't like so much the way it looks, but got a little buzz cut to him. All right, well, we don't have much of a target here. In all honesty, it's getting a wee bit boring. We'll play this. I guess we could bring down Bodyguard. I don't know really what for, though. Yeah, we'll put this on here. Might be better to target the Skyfisher at this rate, right? And we'll bring down a Bodyguard. And we'll attack. Vigilant type. 2 hours, hexxen ruse. Wow. All right. Well, maybe they'll deck themselves too. They might be playing that Centaur that has Threshold and puts things back in the yard, right? I am so unfocused right now. Just chatting with you guys. I feel like there's no threats. I had this chocolate. I was sorry for my throat clearing. There's a little something stuck in my throat. I think I got it. I am just riding this yield button here a little too much, so sometimes you almost get into that cadence of like pass, 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 and then something happens and you're like, pass, oops, wait, go back in time, please. Other than a ton of life gain here, was he have some alpha strike? The toughness and the suggests maybe he's got a justice plan, but he's sacking his lands in the meantime. Might be a cool scenario if you have some card that hurts both opponents. Like Putrid Leech might be a really good plan for a deck like what's sitting across from us. Being able to keep losing life and such. Come on, where's our combo at? We pitched in our deck's defense. We did pitch, you know what? The thing that sucks here is that we're going to, if we do ever find the Tree Umbra, we can put it on the tribe. But we can't really combo off because we're going to say, what, protection from green, and then the aura will fall off. So got to be careful of that play. It might be. But I'll still do it just because Tribe will hit just so hard, and it'll keep them from keeping these guys out and about. I just want something relevant to happen with our draw step here. We've got a Vessel showed up, but then it buried Commune, which is unfortunate. Commune's kind of the MVP of the deck. I like just about everything you played last night, Pauper. That was cool. Thank goodness for Dust to Dust, huh? I think we would have already had a band if a band, not a band, if they had done that. I keep waiting for Omog's Crusher to show up or some finisher. I want to see the big payoff here. Well, we didn't face Tron, but it might be about as long anyway, but at least it's new, right? Hey, it's that time of the year, too. Feels pretty harvest-like, seeing all these little cool food tokens. It's cold around most places, here in our neck of the woods, at least. We get the combo. But pretty soon. I can't believe I'm down on time. All right. Shoot. I talk about clicking through. I just did it. And away we go. He gets some stuff. Gets his lands. I'm just curious what the payoff is here. We'll drop the Umbra here. And we're going to have some true damage showing up. Probably one of the games I want to keep my Whiteout in, right? Of course, not with the other. So that's probably the benefit of the Benevolent Blessing over the Bodyguard. And I did run a split, but in the end I just wanted a few more bodies. So, boop, boop, boom. You could go a little heavier on green and use the Abundant Growth engine in this list, which was tempting because of Skyfisher, but oh, here we go. All right, we need an option here. I think we're dead. Yeah, too little, too late here. We'll watch it go. Here, I'll yield through the turn. And watch his beauty go off here. That's the kill card. That's right. We saw this like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. This thing of beauty. Alrighty. So it's the priest is the order, eh? We put a land card. You know that groundskeeper? Maybe we bring in a gut shot. We've got the ring. We've got gut shot. We've got our clerics never showed up. And to our deck's defense, we never saw anything worthy of what do you call oh, nothing showed up that was all that good, was it? Okay. Yeah. I think we're just gonna attack here. Go like this. Gaia's Touch. Night Soil's another neat one that a lot of people don't use. Yeah, we'll just see him go off here. I sure wish it wasn't that Night Soil wasn't creatures, because that would be like a nice withered wretch for Pauper, right? Nice organic way to really mill people's libraries or graveyards or your own. Yeah, tell me about it. Lorraine Sushi, that's so true. That is the coolest thing. When I started streaming, I was like, I don't know about this. And then starting to, all these different cultures and perspectives and stuff. It's really cool. Comes up a lot. Like I'll be out at dinner with somebody and I'll know some custom from the Netherlands, for example, or something. And they're like, how do you know that? You been there? I'm like, nope. But I'm there every Saturday. So we got our new friend from Russia, too. Woo! What a beautiful little design. A bit long in the tooth, I wonder if they have a unearth there to, at least in the sideboard. All right, nice job. 1 and 1. Let's see if we can pull this one off. Early on, I think we've got to be a wee bit careful. Okay. Let's play some of these. Strands is completely useless in this build. I mean in this matchup, not in this build. Sentinel's Eyes. Let's bring in 3 gut shots. We'll go like that and hope for the best. Boop. It'd be funny if somebody played Scattershot Archer and you cast, they trigger it and in response you cast Whiteout. It's like, no damage. Yeah, let's go. Good hand, good hand. All right, well, we've got that, but we don't have really anything else, but we'll keep this. We've got early aggro. I've got an answer for Darkheart, and we can nab any creature that shows up. As long as we get our forest online here pretty quickly, we'll be all right. Bit of a risky keep, but it's not like we're playing against goblins, so I think we'll have plenty of time. I didn't know Night Soil was bugged, Nim. Pretty cool. Now it's showing up, huh? I'm going to just do this play right now. It's pretty inorganic, and it stultifies our development, but we've got a steady pressure here, and maybe it'll mean the difference. Ba-da-ba-bum. So look on whenever last been in your graveyard from anywhere. Gain a life. Alrighty. Let's nab that out of the woods. Boop. That offline. Try to keep their critters down. Yeah. That Dawnbringer, I'll hang out until we get a Dark Heart of the Wood action. Oh yeah, I didn't know Song of Blood is bugged. Isn't that red card? All right, hey, I got a early Dawnbringer is going to show up. Well, if we just draw a basic forest, our deck's going to be liking us. Boink. Alrighty, here comes Yoga Pants. We'll see, destroy enchantment. Boop. Pow. Take that, sucker. Wham. Tethmos plus Biogrowth. No, I have not. Gabuberment. Nice to hear from you. Ah. Boy, note to self. No more dark chocolates before I go live. I think I normally eat that when I... Oh, man. I think it's called the... let me check my text. I don't want to get this wrong, because there's a movie on Amazon Prime that I just loved. I want to make sure any of you guys out there that have a... What was it? It's called Encounter on Amazon Prime. It just went live yesterday. Fantastic. Very impressed. So best kid acting I've truly ever seen. I thought Stranger Things was really good, and it is. But man, oh man, oh man, that was nuts. Hey, we got another one. Boy, I'll attack with these guys. Oh, that's a good point, Pauper Tim. Yeah, that's probably the biggest miss card, I think. I think when that got spoiled, everybody was like, oh my god! And boy, they designed that perfectly. It's like that 4/4 and black that everybody tries to abuse every few years. Okay, I don't like seeing that. Where's our journey, right? Ouch. I don't know if we're going to get out of this one, guys. Zappo. Damn. Alrighty. Well, I am going to attack. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. I think I'm just going to... no, we want to get this online here. Let's play this up. I guess we'll do this. Play this up. Pop. Now we look a little bit more vulnerable. Come on, block. Get a Skyfisher, we'll return that journey and do something better with it. Cool. Love this play. Block here. After damage. Zapolio. Boop. Come on now. Grind time. We've got stuff in the yard. Yeah. Tethmos. Can bring back Bodyguard at instant speed. That's good times. If he finds a good way to gain life, we're going to be in trouble with that priest if we can't deal with it. Yeah, Teth. Me and my silly monikers. Should have called it Treefolk Inspired. Let's get that offline. Yowza. We need some of this. Let me see what we're going to dig up here. Oh man, I like everything here. We can get back our creatures, so I'm going to grab the ring. We'll play Tribe. And I'll attack. Scary man. Don't really care about that too much. Cool. Come on, don't draw something good, because I get a little life train going here. We'll be in trouble. Yeah, when you build around the toughness model, you feel pretty safe outside of, spot removal and stuff, because even the tribe, but the only thing that dies outright is the Benevolent Bodyguard, but that's his job, right? He's like, how many more tricks can this guy have? The answer? Plenty. In this case, if he does attack, we need a Mutagenic first so that we can get back Seeker. There we go. And so we have an extra blocker, and then we can use Mutagenic for something else. Boop. Oh, no. Oh, what a dumbass. I meant to do that on the High Priest. Oh, well. Same result. I'll block here. I think we just let that die. Meant to do that on Tethmos. Either way, I guess doesn't really matter. Do I want something in the yard? I think we're just going to let it go. We've got the Oblivion Ring. It's clunky, so that wasn't a punt. Either way, is just a... Actually, I think that turned out better. First, I thought I punted a little bit there, but whatever. Alrighty, let's bring out the ring. Turn off the ability to turn us off, right? Toolbox showing up. I'm just going to come over for 2. Might have to use that Dawnbringer Cleric on our life total here. Okay, Explorer showing up. And the problems with a deck like our opponent's playing is it's purposely flooded, so when you get into this scenario, it should favor us, but we've gotten rid of 3 Blight Priests so far, so I can't imagine there's that many more around. Dark Heart of the Wood would really suck if that shows up, so I don't want to get too reckless with the that ability here. Let's just start attacking with everything. Don't think he's going to be attacking us. Got him on a 3-turn clock this way. Yeah, this is a whole lot of card. Alrighty, he's got another blocker. One card in hand, little mystery. It's going to attack. Something relevant. Cool. What does this Scolacola do again? I got 7 minutes. Yeah, we don't want him gaining life. So, let's bring this out. I'll bring back this dude. We'll play the land. Let's just gain some life. Gain 2 life. I think we're getting a little reckless, but we've got another one in our backup plan here. All right. Got him next turn unless something crazy goes down. This is game 3, sir. We won the first one, lost the second one to an awesome little... The combo went off, and then this is it. It's like, it's a fun deck. Be happy with 1 or 2 wins, and looks like we're going to get our first one right out of the gate. So, isn't that the way it goes? Ooh. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay. Down goes that. We're not done yet. Whenever a land is put in your graveyard from anywhere, you gain a life. Look at this. Crazy. Life out of the blue. Resilient. I always call that the Scolacola. Come over with this. Come on, just give me that other journey. That Grove Dancer is going to make us lose on time. How could I kill the two? Oh, wow. What a great... Thank you for bringing that up. You're right. That's the punt. You're right. That's an enchantment creature. Thank you for pointing that out. This will probably help me out so much. Cooper the Red with supreme knowledge shows me. What are these glasses for if I'm not going to use them, right? I just, you figure it's a creature, but it's an enchantment, and then wherefore we can kill it. So thank you so much for that. Maybe we won't get timed out. The flexibility becomes a disadvantage. Well, we had him in the air anyway, so yay! The silly little deck wins. Super grindy, super mid-rangey, and super fun. We're going to create and just jump right on in here before I start talking shenanigans and stuff. Man, I'm getting cold. Oops, all right. Here we go. Hexxen in the house. He knows what I'm playing. I don't know what he's playing. That's the way of it. Boop. We all say yes and hopefully no. This sucks. All right, 2 planes and just a bunch of other stuff. So we'll keep this. If we just drop a forest, it's going to feel really fun. We'll keep bloop. And we got the combo. Hey, do we lose Tethmos? I think we do. It's going to go aggro plan here, man. Boom, boom, boom. Let's find a basic forest. Drop the Seeker. Drop the Umbra. Yeah! I wish we could have pulled that off, but... Alright, well, that's going to stay in our hand, isn't it? Bloop. Here we go. Come on, Forest, show up. The threat is real. So that little bump that the Umbra gives Tireless Tribe is pretty relevant. It comes, like I said, that's oftentimes why I lost Whiteout in the board, because it got there. It was enough. I don't like seeing green because that means I can't make the Umbra go through super clear here. Yuck. I'll just do this. So we'll start gaining a whole lot of life when we can do something, but until then, we're not going to do much of anything. I can't keep all the decks straight. I've been playing all kinds of games. Got like this next week off, and then I'm back to being a working man, so that'll be interesting. Never started a job late in December, right on the holiday week. It's going to be weird. There we go. Well, that'll be relevant. Let's keep that going. I don't mind killing that. Let's go. 2 damage. He's probably... You know, if he had cast down, though, he probably would have done it in response to the bodyguard dropping. What do I know? Apparently not much. Oh, yeah, that gigantic one. That's right. The go wide deck. Yeah, it's not going to be good for us because we're going to be trying to punch through a tribe in a go wide list. So now that we know what he's on, not the best. And that's going to probably be a submission point if we don't get a journey and such. Green, please. All right. I like this. We're not going to draw a forest. At least our deck will show up with some life gain and the ability to keep their life total down. Let's do this and this and this. And here it goes. Probably get a village rights in response, or can you kill it in response? If so, we've got Skyfishers to mop up the damage of the Forgotten Journey, Deadly Dispute. Yep, there it is. Very nice. Attack! Yeah. Yeah, I had solid footing in the first 2 builds of this, and it was one of those. It was in the initial build, and I'm like, yeah, and it just never ever came up. That's why I had 4 of the vigilance dudes. Probably should have kept 1 in the list. But yeah, I originally had like 4 of those, 4 of the other ones, and you could almost design it like with just mono white. White always seems to want an accelerator. Like in this deck, we've got, Commune with the Gods and such. Yeah, Homestead Courage, I auditioned. There's also one that used to be played in slivers with flashback. You cast it for green, Thrill of the Hunt, I think it is, and you flash it back for white, just to target Tethmos and such. But okay, we really need a forest to show up here. We'll take that. All right, this is really coming back to bite us here. I'm just going to attack. Try to keep these numbers down. Cool. I think we're just going to let things go. Yep. I like stuff in my yard. What about you? Bye-bye, birdies. No white creatures for you. We've got another one in backup. Bloop. And now we've got some food for our Tethmos if we do ever draw one. But yeah, white always wants that accelerator friend, like, Faithless Looting in red, or Deadly Dispute. Village Rights Engine, like we're seeing across from us, and in our case with Celestia, you throw everything in your yard. You want to try to use it as a toolbox with Commune with the Gods and Grapple with the Past and Vessel of Nascency and all that. Always makes me giggle when I hear about Vessel of Nascency, because my friend Toothmaker here in the chat for Propaganda live streams and stuff, but his real name is Paul. He's such a patient guy that it's like never-ending patience, so I just called it Natience. It's like this made-up word, and then when I saw the Vessel of Nascency, I was like, oh, it's so close. But yeah, we need a Skyfisher or a Journey, or we're dead meat. We'll let this through for a whole bunch. Hexxen Rouge kicking us around the curve here. Yuck. I'm going to give it one more go, and then we'll see. It just pays to attack here. No tricks, so let's do this. That's the one. It's a nice first turn play. Pitch it in a pinch. Alright, I was really hoping they'd want to block there, but whatever. It'd be nice if anything shows up. Forest or, any sort of ability like a Prismatic Strands would be really nice right about now. Alright, I'm going to bring in some gut shots. I don't believe we're going to need... probably the ring. Come on over, Soul Warden. Let's go. Yeah, solid. Yeah, God Umbra. Yeah, what Nim Chimpskey said. That's one of my favorite lists. I play it all the time privately. I play it about every 4 months, and some pretty damn good results with it. I've never 5-0'd with it in a league. I have 4-1'd a few times. I've bottomed out a lot of times. People just don't see it coming. It's so fun when people are like, the gaining life strategy. I mean, we're doing it. They're doing it. Everybody does it. Infect is always that one card away from being awesome. So every set that comes out, you just feel like it's Christmas morning. You're like, what's going on here? Why didn't he flashback Battle Screech? That would really put the nail in the coffin. So we're starting this one off with a nail. I don't know about you guys. I'm having a damn good time. Even though I'm frustrated and I can't keep my forest. Something about this list. I just like playing it. All right. Well, that's a bit frustrating, ain't it? 1, 2. Yeah, we just lose to swarms here. All right. Let's just roll over. And what did we call this last time? This is like the token swarm. I got to write it so it makes sense to me, right? Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I've played that a few times. It's a really strong list. I really like it. All right, I think 2 scatter shots. Bringing all 4 of these dudes. Now we didn't see any removal, so I think a standard bearer might be good, and I'll bring in 1 cleric. How do you like that for flexibility? We're going to lose Whiteout. I think I'm going to lose the tribe element. Might sound crazy, but all they have is ground people, right? A lot of it's green, so I can't even go in for it. So I'm actually going to lose our combo, and we're just going to go into this race with a whole other game plan here. And because of that, probably lose that, and we'll bring in a Oblivion Ring. So a bit of a switcheroo here. That being said, I might even want more scatter shots just because it's a good blocker, right? So I'll get rid of a Mutagenic, and we'll bring in our Scattershot. It's, if the Battle Screech plan shows up, fine, but there's a lot of 1/1s that I want to just prevent them from swarming us, so yeah. I think maybe we go all in with this plan too, huh? Enchantment, yeah. Let's try this out. I'll get rid of one of these. Boop. There we go. Boink. Man, I am freezing. Had hot coffee and everything, but oh well. Hopefully my shivering isn't coming off. I listened to my wife. She was like, "You look a little cold." I was like, "I feel fine." Then the second I stopped moving around, I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, I want to play first. What am I staring at?" All right, here we go again. Mostly an all-white hand, but we'll keep this. I've got protection, I've got seeker, and I've got air power. Might be able to sneak in some goods here. Maybe I'll get warmer. I know, but maybe it's subliminal, right? I'm playing all these snowlands, and it just puts you in that cold state of mind. We just had a storm, in quotes, here in LA, and I say that with a sarcastic tone because when the news broadcasts that, it always turns into like a day where I think any other place on the planet would just laugh at calling it that, because it sprinkled for about 5 minutes. But it made the earth cold enough, and then the sky was super bright the next day, so it makes for a pretty cold morning. But because of our loud show last week, all our windows are nice and super like dual, triple pane awesomeness, so it's definitely been a nice bump up in the heat. And we had a game night with the neighbors again. Had a really cool outing. Learned, I think it was Rummy Cube. It was a pretty fun little tile game. I tell you, I thought I was done learning games. Like, in our household, it seemed like I've played them all, but not so. I'd rather them step in the Archer sauce here. So let me do this. And we'll do this. Ah, my clicking finger is getting sore. I've been playing too much this week. All right. Well, that'll come back. Scattershot's good. Skyfisher's even better. Let's do Skyfisher. Sure. And we'll attack. Too bad our gut shots died. You know, maybe we should play Vithian's Stinger. Of course, we'd have to really have a flexible mana base, but I mean, with the you wouldn't even need the mana if you just threw it in the yard and then you brought it back for a Tim effect with the Tethmos ability. Sometimes I get a little too cutesy with that. About every 3 months, I do a Tethmos build because I just, man, that card is so awesome. And in all honesty, I should probably play all 4 Gutshots main and just, you know, go back up to 3 of them. I'm not done saying that. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of today. Come on over, Soul Warden. Let's have it. I'll block this any day of the week. I don't have much removal, and I've got a lot of ways to get my stuff back. I'll make that trade anytime. Anytime. The old Predator line, right? All right. The most efficient use of our mana is actually probably dropping this, right? We'll play this. Can't really do much other than the Sentinel's Eyes play here. So we'll put this on here. And again, this is cool because there's no drawback, right? So if they, you know, kill Seeker of the Way, usually you get 2 for 1. Sentinel's Eyes, it's like, all right, it'll be back. Nice little permanent landing spot, right? And if we need to, we can just, you know, the Vigilance is key in this list with all the Prismatic Strands we're running. All right. Let's do, we'll bring this dude out. And then we'll bring Skyfisher. Now I could target the Sentinel's Eyes. That might be the better play here. You know what? It's either the Ash Barren or the Sentinel's Eyes. I think we go with Sentinel's Eyes. Our mana's fine. Don't want to get too greedy. Oh, thank you for that. I'm just going to call you Goduber. Goduberment. That's I'm always looking for new abilities like that. I think that one might have slipped through my fingers. Hexxen Rouge, our opponent here, I believe is He might be a bit stultified holding battle screeches with that Scattershot Archer down. Maybe we got him on the run, eh? Ah, Nim Chimpskey with the rules. Kicking the crotch. Crunch. And if you like this kind of style, I mean, it's pretty easy, especially with the Ash Barrens already present, to let's run out Bodyguard first, so if they have any shenanigans, we at least have an option to do something before we throw Sentinel's eyes to the fire. But you can always add a different color pretty easily with this list here. All right, we'll put this here. It's got this play for days. Probably running into a... you know what? Screw it. Let's go. He wants to double block. I'll use the Bodyguard. What do we got here, folks? Just trying to stay alive. What's the card? Ooh, target creature control gets a whole lot of stuff. And other creatures get that. Damn. All right. Well, we're going to trade here, but I'd like to keep my dude alive here. I'm going to favor the Archer. We'll say white. Go from there. Bloop. Cool. And smash. Okay. Let's, we'll do this. Bring back Ash Barrens. Turn it into a forest. And away we go. Might as well. Hiya. Yeah, it's one of the coolest things about Pauper, boy. You can literally make anything under the sun. It might not always add up to a bunch of W's, but it's a hell of a lot of format. The design space is beautiful. All these little tricks of the trade. Let's see if we can put this one to bed here. No. Well, do I risk that? I'm just going to put it on the Skyfisher here. We'll put that out and that. Careful to keep your creatures in the yard if Tethmos ever wants to show up. Thank you for that, Nim Chimpskey. And I'm on about a 2-turn clock here if you squint at the math. Pop. And here we go. Cycle this up. I think we're going to start holding on to these lands. I'm going to grab a forest because you saw us do it last time. Hopefully they're not paying attention. They thought we played it, so we still might have a mystery card. Probably not. Hexxen Ruge is pretty on point. L3074. You sound like a Star Wars droid. That's a pretty cool name. As the sigil of the gods gets bigger and bigger. Dun dun dun. Hey. Maybe I have to stop being such a purist and just go all in with maybe like a guardian at least. I mean, you can't get it with Tethmos, but in a scenario like this, that's a hell of a lot of card. Teth. Easier to say. Come on, deck. Just give me something good. Something good. We're going to game 3. A Thriving Lands. What's that? Star Wars death droid. IG-88. That's right. Boba Fett's little robot partner in some of those stories. Thanks a lot, list. Well, we're just going to smash over here. Remember what I said about 1-turn clock? I lied. Nothing showed up but a plane. You know what's funny? L3074 or L3074. I almost played that list today. I really like that. I was trying to get that to work, and I just kind of settled on this design. Oh, bummer. Crunch. Down it goes. But you see, it's the beautiful thing about Sentinel's eyes. We just keep bringing stuff back. Get rid of that and that. Done. It's sneaky too, because the opponent has access to a Bazooka Bog or that sort of tech midway through the game. If they're not paying attention, they look over and they go, oh, there's not that much in their side graveyard. Things are getting real. If I get like a Benevolent Bodyguard, yikes. I got a bunch of tall boys across from us. 9? Thank goodness we were gaining some life here. So Bodyguard wins it. Anything other than a land is good here. This is going to be close, especially if he's got some sort of token generator out of the gates here. Oh, I love that. Whoo! It's a reprieve from the governor. And we got vigilance too. It's almost like I thought about stuff. Don't gain life. Don't gain life. We'll assume he's paying attention. He's probably imagining me barking about being flooded now, but it looks nice and even, don't it? Yeah, it's funny he brought that up. 3074. I just, like I said, I think Tuesday and Wednesday I was trying to make that work for a while. Okay. Everything's getting gigantic. Stop 11 or stop the others? I think we got them. That scenario too with white, where sometimes you have to keep the pressure up, but then you got to have defense back. Boy, the Sentinel's eyes just makes that a awesome thing. All right, cool. Going for broke here. It's going to trip him so that he gets the things, and then I shoot the things and go from that. Man, that is a whole lot of damage. Wow. I'll have to call white. Let's do this first. I'll say no white. Come on over, Nest Invader. Alrighty, pull even. Let's see if we can pull off game 3. I think we sideboarded okay. Our deck just kind of held up there. Huh. Prismatic Strands I like. Journey can be pretty clutch. Standard Bearer, come on boy. That is so fun to bring back at instant speed. I had a hex proof game the other day, and they do it. It wasn't Gutshot that killed my bearer. It was Ram through, and then they the very end of turn, I was able to just zap. It's back. Good times. All right, I think this non-tireless plan is working. Yeah, I had solid footing for quite a while. Ooh, I like this. Hey, look at this. We've got Skyfisher. This is one I love Skyfisher for the land reasons. Easily one of the top white cards in the format. It's so good. I was about to call this deck like Hate Bears, but it's not like I'm, playing like the Obsidian Alkalites or the Crimson one, which have so many ways around them because of, the nausea effects and suffocating fumes and such. So, gotta be wary and relevant. I think we're going to be able to do this one because we've got the life gain answer in hand, and Gutshot Commune is online. We'll drop a Seeker, get the life package going, and then Commune. No problem at all. L3074. Forest showing up. We've got protection. We'll bring this out. And I'm not going to attack. I've seen enough raise the alarm here. I don't want to... It's not worth it. Hey, somebody's clairvoyant. If you watch football on Sundays, you'll see my commercials almost all the time. They are running all through December into January, so been a lot of fun. All right. Man, you know what? Do I drop that to that? Or do I do that to that? I don't want any more forests here. I think I'm just going to play this out. And I'll pass. I'm going to get a whole lot of life this next turn, but I want to keep the onus on our opponent here. All right. Hexxen Rouge with Tricknology. What's the bridge do again? Can anybody bring that up in the Finder? I'd appreciate it. Ooh, drawing all kinds of cards. We're going to have the illusion that we did, but it's only going to be Commune with the God's Effect, making our library go bye-bye. All right. Depending on what he plays here... Okay. We'll let that through. We'll let him gain the life. I'd rather the Seeker of the Ways get the benefit of the 6 life with the gut shot there on our turn. Let's go. Okay, I like this. Let's not mess about here. We'll drop here with this. You know, you could argue, oh, you're swinging with 2, and maybe he's not going to block, and then that's life that we could have been gaining, right? Let's see what we're going to get here. Yuck. It's like, well, at least we're not flooded. But I don't like seeing 2 communes go down like that. That kind of blows. All right, well, I mean, we could just do this. Kind of getting in a whole lot of life here. That's what I mean. This is, the deck's just at its heart. It's just a beat down, gain a lot of life, mid-rangey evasion, a little bit here and there deck. Lots of fun. And this is why I didn't like Whiteout a lot, because when I am playing the combo, there's a lot of scenarios where it's not relevant. It's like or just one swing is enough, you know. Let's attack with everything. I don't care about you, bodyguard. You've served your purpose, and I got vigilance too. So smack. We gain 11 life, which is very relevant in this matchup. Our mana's right. We got Skyfisher in the air. Bring back the Sentinels. It's clunky, but it's works a lot better than the aforementioned Abundant Growth plan. So we don't really have that much flexibility needed in our mana. Okay. Now, this is getting terrifying quickly. But we're gaining so much life that we don't really care. But here's that scenario, right? If he had Vigilance, then it would be a very slowed down, gummed up battlefield game, right? But as it sits now, I can't remember. Do they have Anthem effects? Seems like that would be really good here. Okay, let's do this. And we'll bring back... Tempted to just bring back the planes, right? Yeah, we'll bring back the plane. Play the plane. Play the other Skyfisher. Now we'll bring back the Sentinel's Eyes. We'll play it. Sure. Why not this one? Because... recast a spell, gain 6 life. That's a pretty good deal. Especially when you're up against these shenanigans. Kind of like this sequence here, because they don't have any Village Rites outs mana, right? Outs mana? Yeah, that's what I said. Gain the life backs. Cleric takes a hit. We've got our Bodyguard out. If Bodyguard, man, if they ever did a version that was just called Bodyguard. Is there a Bodyguard in Magic? Just Bodyguard? Because that would be cool if you took away that you control. Just target creature gains. That. Oh my god, that'd be so good for like Flicker Loop combo. Just boink. Like, nope. Or I'll protect my stuff. Does anybody know? Can you bring up a quick search? One of you quick non-Luddites. Boy, how glad am I that there is no Soul Warden out, right? If I get rid of that Shambler and token, I'll be able to grant some... We haven't seen any sweepers, and I need all the creatures I can get. And we're shy on white mana, and there's no life gainers out, so I'm just going to go all in with this plan. We'll attack with these. Yeah, look at that. There's no just Bodyguard. I do remember Veteran Bodyguard. That's my problem. I remember all Pauper cards. I need to get a life. This is when Battle Screech shows up and makes my life hell, but we've got 2 Bodyguards for that same scenario. So I think we've got hexxen on the back burner. Are we going to start off 2-0? Who would have thought? Lesson learned. Play what you like. I got second in the Pauper Classic Tuesday tournament on Tuesday. That was a lot of fun. Playing my new version of Boros Boli. A bit streamlined and such. Alrighty, let me get rid of the colored options here. I'll keep white on the board just for a variety of reasons. I'll take 8. Yikes. Well, that kind of blows, huh? But that's what these are for. That gets huge. Do I just let that go? Nah, we'll keep them around. Bodyguard's so good. Considering just letting that go, but we've got him dead anyway in the air, so I don't need that extra damage to show up. I could have saved the other one, let the Sentinel's Eyes go, and then done that and gained some life. Yeah, it's probably the better play, but hey, look at that. The little engine that could. All right, well, Hexxen Rouge. Take that. Now I think we're even. They didn't get us a week or two ago. All right, guys, I'm going to roll to a very timely commercial here. Commune with the Gods inside of with help of Upright Citizens Brigade, and we'll be back after I use the restroom and grab another soda. Be back right after this.
Oh, yes, you the lad with the song.
Do you think the Bible is particularly relevant to this generation?
Absolutely. More importantly, it's relevant to me and what I'm doing. Every day I think to myself, old chap, God was talking to you.
Yes, most certainly I didn't hear a word that was just said, because I only enjoy things that are about me. Like, of course, the Bible.
Are you saying the Bible was written about you?
Don't be ridiculous.
Yes, quite ludicrous. I wasn't listening, but I do know that I'm only in the Gospels, the book of Revelation, and of course Genesis. No, the Bible is not about me, but it is about me.
Ah, yes, me. Haven't heard a word you've said, but when I first wrote the Bible, this is good, I thought to myself, well, this silly thing will never sell.
You wrote the Bible?
Needless to say, I haven't been paying attention to any of this, but I was reminded of the time when I created the earth in 6 days and rested on the 7th.
So you're both God?
Both? I'm not quite sure
No one else up here, boys. There's only one person.
You've chosen your words rather haphazardly. It's a careful choice when you use words.
Is your den clouded in a funky, ethereal haze? Did she stop coming over because it smells like a stinkweed imp died weeks ago? Laying in Den Guard, Clump and Seal has you covered. Advanced Pride Mage technologies create a feral invocation against the smells of your litter box, so you can get back to the things that really matter. Pride Mage is excited to bring you Den Guard, our strongest odor blocker to date.
Is there more to entertainment than 500-channel TV and zillion-dollar movies? Turning the sound up and your mind off? Is there still a place where fun involves thinking, imagining, doing? Some of us think so, and we find it in a game. Magic the Gathering. All you need to play is a brain, a deck, and a friend.
And we're back. All right, let's get some Vessel of Nascency action. And thank you. A year ago, almost today, I got a nice Christmas present in a PauperRBust mug from my son. Very sweet. I almost dropped it the other day. Ooh, that was scary. I was like, ooh. Something I've always had, incredibly fast reflexes. I was a gymnast, martial artist, all this stuff, and seems like 100 years ago, but it pays a lot of dividends when I drop things. A lot of times I do this hacky sack move where I can, like if I drop something breakable, I can get my foot under it and ease it to the ground. I've saved so many dishes over the years doing that. Vlad Tepes in the house. I was just listening to a podcast on tyrants, and it went, obviously, I think Hitler, Stalin, was it Pol Pot? And then it got into, I think it was Ivan the Terrible, and then the last one was Vlad Tepes. And I didn't know he was, he got double-crossed. He was he learned Turkish and pulled a Trojan horse move where he went into the, we're in a queue, by the way, so don't worry. He pulled he got their outfit, learned Turkish, went in and pretty much found the location of the, this castle that they couldn't, it was like impregnable. And so they found the location, opened the gates, it was straight up. But that's actually how he ended up going too, is one of his own guys double crossed him, got behind him and got him in one fell swoop and decapitated him. That I didn't know. Yuck. Mulligan this. Okay, we'll keep this. We're not sure what we're up against. We'll throw back Prismatic here. Watch it burn or something. Or goblins be like, wait a minute. Let's rewind that. Another forest deck. Yikes. Elves, it looks like. Well, we've got air power, but this could get out of hand real quick. But we got one of our bits of removal here. I wish, as cool as that, what's that mage that we have on our sideboard? Gains 2 life. What's this? Dawnbringer Cleric or something? I wish they would do that. Make some more bearers, like maybe a black one or a red one that does 1 damage, or, some design space I think they need to work on. Vanguard's scary. I'm not quite sure how scary yet, depending on what we see. The age-old conundrum. What to take down. Let's get rid of it. I can always let it come back to life for a 1/1 if our opponent is really hurt there. But we do have Prismatic in hand, but I've been burned by elves a lot. Here we go. Oopsie. Alrighty, what did we see here? What new knowledge have we gained? Well-wisher. Don't like that. We can hit pretty hard, but not against green guys. Well, that's true, Nim Chimpskey. I guess that shouldn't really bleed over to everything else, but maybe the other colors have only 2 options. I mean, I guess you've got, I know Little Fight was fond of, it seemed janky, but man, he always made it work with ninjas. He had a red-white ninja build that, I think it was Spark Mage. It just does 1 damage. It's like a really weakened Flame Tongue Kavu. Yeah, Light of Hope's really, really good. In fact, we played that in our last time we went 5-0 with White Infect for, I forget who that, L07, the chat scrolled by too far, so I don't remember who that was. Okay. Oh, we got parts of our combo here. I'm just not even sure that we can win this matchup, so I'm thinking I'll give it a few more turns. But yeah, this seems to be incredibly weak against elves. I mean, we could buy a bunch of time, but it's not going to do too much of anything here. So no, let me bring out Tethmos just to stop any attack shenanigans. Maybe we'll top deck a Commune and we'll have some surprise blockers or mutagenic. Sometimes I wish Tethmos was a little weaker so that he drew a little bit more attacks, right? Because sometimes when you mutagenic at end of turn and you don't get to kill a card out of it, it's like, ugh, I wish it was delayed. So like, if you do target a seeker, it gets the benefit, but it's already happened. So that's why we're playing all 4 seekers, because we usually use a lot of the Phyrexian mana to generate some surprise out of the yard. But when our yard looks as barren as ours does, it's not that great, is it? Uh-oh. We're not long for this world. Gonna gain the life. Let's see. There we go. I'll get out of range real quick. Magic Caster 78. I know I say this all the time. I just wonder if Magic Caster 77 was taken. And hey, we kind of drew what we need a little bit there. I guess just to stay alive, we pull this. We drop. Man, can we even? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got it. We've got to stick behind for the other, don't we? I was gonna say. Gonna return that journey. We're in all kinds of trouble here. I got no delusions. We're losing this one. You know, because usually our out against other strategies, you always got that hope of the Treefolk combo, which, you know, we've won both games today, but I'm sure this one will be a lot tougher. But I think it would be a really successful show if I can just get that Treefolk, the Tree Umbra on the tribe to stick. That's going to be good times. I like this play here because it encourages them to use one of the activations on the Quirion Ranger. Let's see if he does it. Really? Yeah, I'll just let that through. Cool. New player to elves, maybe? Okay. I'll save the strands for another day. Ooh, this just got spicy, didn't it? Change of plans. We'll bring this down. Now, I could just drop that Umbra on there. Probably that damn Sentinel. I still don't think we're going to be able to get through this mess. So we could just tap all out here because we can always discard. But against a deck like this, I'm going to really, really want that to not be the case. Oh, let's attack. Well, if I don't attack, you know, 2's not worth it. I'm going to encourage some creative blocking here, and we'll see what happens. Given that we've neutered them with the Quirion Ranger out of the game. Okay, I really want to kill the Sentinel. We'll do this and this. I'm going to play strands no matter what. I really want that Sentinel to die because, for some obvious reasons. Alrighty, let's do this, this, and this. We'll call green. Splat. Yeah, definitely a new player to elves. No offense. It's a lot of things to look at and think about. Not the easiest deck to play. I used to play this on the stream all the time, but then it got popular. Where was that play? Yeah, definitely new. This is the very first match, so. But I'm looking at my notes here, and it's like almost every time we want to bring in great gut shot, grape shot. Hold on a minute. There's extra value I can be had here. So if you play Skyfisher here, we haven't played a land yet, so let's slow roll a little bit here. We'll do this to this. Bring back the forest. Get an extra creature out of the deal. Play the forest. Play the Umbra. Whambo. Oh, he's got the Aquarian Ranger, so. But we've got double strands if you look closely, so we'll see what he does. Yeah, I'm glad it's a new pilot because that would have been a almost immediate rollover if we did the other. So nice when that has vigilance. Yeah, they're definitely a bit new here. We could hit really hard, but I don't want to really give away the surprise, so I'll just I've made some teeth. What do we got here? Lead the Stampede. Let's dismiss this quick. Ah, now we got a nice fresh look-see. Ew, that white border. I want to kill it first, even though it's completely irrelevant. Another Aquarian Ranger. Well-Wisher's kind of shutting off our combo. Depending on what dies here, this might be a fun little move. Hiya! Is it going to activate Well-Wisher first this time? Keeping the numbers down. We'll call green. Keep our dudes alive. Don't really even need to. Mutagenic in response, but watch my time here. Crunch. Maybe they're drinking some Merit Lager. I'm really concerned about their life. I wouldn't be. I would have used the Timber Watch there, but what you gonna do? Well, they've kind of shown that they don't really have, what do you call that? Untappability. Like they don't know the Aquarian Ranger combat trick, so I'm just going to prey on that a little bit here. Zap. Hey, just this and that in the chat. Thanks for chiming in. Good to have you here live with us, man. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. Alrighty, there's no reason to not just play this. It'll be fun to alpha strike with the tribe, but hey, you know what? Maybe I do want Whiteout to show up here, right? What would that be? 8, 16, 24, 27 we could hit for if we go all in with Whiteout. Still not nearly enough. I just got to keep preying on these little mistakes our opponent's making. I think I want, maybe I even want Tribe to die here. We just have no graveyard. This really blows. Man, I got to draw that Journey or another Skyfisher to give him back that big elf. That Timber Watch is scaring the hell out of me. Oh, you got inspired. Hey, that's what we're here to do, man. I'll have to... Nim Chimpskey, would you mind emailing that to me? Because there's no way I'm going to rewatch the show, click on the link, etc. Apologies. Don't mean to ask you to jump through another hoop, but... Saturdays are always such busy Magic days. I might be scooping here just for time's sakes, guys. I don't think there's a way through this life wall. Thank you, my friend. Jasper Jansen. Gotta love names with alliteration. At least I do. We're in this holding pattern of life gain, but we're going to be losing it because we don't really have any board wipes. And our evasion package doesn't work against green because we have to say pro-green, and then the Umbra falls off. So that blows. Hey, we'll give it a few more turns, but I'm under no delusions. We really need our gut shots and such to removal, all kinds of things. Have they learned their lesson? They have. We'll do this just to see what we draw next. Boink. Untap, Savior, Elf. Elf is about to die. Does anyone know what that's from? Show your age, big time. Old arcade games. That's the only clue I'll give you. Of course, it's probably such a meme or something. You don't even have to have played the original. Well, got a few more games here. So here's, we kind of have it, but look, they're at 60 life. We'll give it to them. Never seen so many misplays result in a victory, but it's tough to get past 60 life. Go from there. Still haven't lost a match yet, so it's boding well, but this is probably the number one thing I would think, like, I don't want to face that. Alrighty. Standard Bearer comes in. Oblivion Ring comes in, and all of our gut shots come in. Whiteout. I think I'm going to lose the tribe plan again, guys. Now, the Umbra I might keep, because that might be really funny on top of a Skyfisher. So maybe we do something like this. It's clunky, but this is an enchantment that, sometimes it'll trip a Seeker or make a Skyfisher nice and gigantic. Is there any reason why I should bring that in? I've got Oblivion Ring, so we got 4 bits of removal. It's almost like, I wish there was a card like this where it's all creatures gain flying, and then you just zap. That'd be pretty cool. Woo! Super Pooper in the house. Hey, sorry to read a little backwards there. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it because I like it. Maybe they'll have a Spider Silk armor, and it'll make the game something rather. But Cheth. We call it Treefolk Enabled Tribe Heroes. I should have inspired as an I, so that'd be T.E.T.H. Never mind. Thought I was onto something. Come on, Dust to Dust. It'd be nice to see a artifact list. That's why we play white. All right. They disconnected. We'll give them a minute. See what's going down. Otherwise, might be able to sneak away with a asterisk win, right? Thank you, Super Pooper. Yeah, I was torn. It was like, I was telling the chat earlier, when I play like really nasty meta lists and stuff, like Hexproof or Boros Bully or something, the view count just goes like that. I think people it's oversaturated, and so great news for me, because you all know me. I love playing weird stuff, and there's if let's say like some new Rakdos deck is like the deck. And every single person out there, everywhere, every channel has that thing. And I like to be that little bastion of creativity where, like what just happened, where somebody gets inspired and goes and makes a deck list like right now. You get those creative flow going. So I've always been kind of shocked how often. All right, our opponent's not showing up, so we'll just roll this one. We'll see. I'll put a Q there for quit, so we technically haven't done that yet. We'll go from here, and hopefully we don't get another quitter. Maybe a truck hit a power pole or something. You never know. So we'll look at the list while we're waiting for our next opponent to show up. So I really like the tribe combo to show up here, but so far not so good. Minus this. Weird and weirder. That's a good way to put it. We'll keep this. Nice even mana plan here. Really like this opener. Okay. Ooh. Hey, as long as it's not a forest, I'm happy. Let's drop that vessel, or should we keep it for the life gain? I think we might want to keep it. Maybe I just go find a plains. I think that's the play here. Oh, man. This is frustrating now. It's like too much good stuff, right? I'll keep it a mystery. We'll just go grab a plane. I'm sure our Seeker, if not both of them, will die really quickly. Of course, that might pull into the game plan of playing Commune on turn 2, being that we could get a Prismatic Strands in the yard with our toolbox effect here. Let's see what we're up against here. Is this like a curse? Marauders, okay. Yeah, we're not going to be one to block. So now the Commune play seems to be the... yeah, I'm happy about that, Nim Chimpskey. It will be a fast one. Rotha Bros. What do we have here? That's interesting. For next turn, though. Of course, you know what? That's not going to make any sense. Prismatic's not even going to work if we do that. Really want to get that Seeker out. You know what? I can just block it. I'll drop the Nascency here. Can prevent 3 with that. Then we'll have a target for High Priest regardless. Maybe I see something else and I don't want to block it, but those Seekers really got to get online here. I don't want to call on the combo synergy of Tethmos and Bodyguard too much here, because we don't have all that much time until we get one of these Seekers online. You gotta assume they're holding a few lightning bolt style effects here. Still surprised nobody's made a red-blue like ninja deck with Marauders and that little Spark Mage dude. What's that? That 2/1 that does 2 damage to Planeswalker or a person. See some play every once in a while. So we've got a target in the yard. We've prevented 3. What do we have next? Rift Bolt. It's just like old school burn, so we got to tread lightly here. Boy, that Commune just really wants stuff to show up, doesn't it? That's 4, that's 5. I'm going to play Commune now. I promise we'll play Seeker next turn. We got a Journey. That's pretty tempting. Yeah, I guess we'll grab Tribe. At least it's a creature. It would be so nice if, Prismatic showed up. Given that Prismatic didn't show up, it feels like a bit of a misplay. But, we lead out with Seeker. We prevent 3. I don't know. We think so too, Quimar. That's, keeps the show fresh too. I think I would have burned out a long time ago if I just played. Who is that? Shirazman. Who was the awesome Tribe player? I think it was Darkest Mage or something. He played Tribe a couple years back, like every single stream, like a couple times a week. I was just like, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's decks that I like to play a lot of, and I just don't want to bore you guys with them, like Black Sack or White Infect and such. But yeah. We're at 9. What is this? Well, let's make this live. I guess we're going to throw out a dude. Still taking 3. I don't think we're going to live through this one. The little engine that could. That's what we should have named the list. It ain't lost yet. I think we probably would have lost that elf matchup, however, though. Oh, boy. We really, really, really need... Yoza. I like this a lot because we can do 2 things here. Might be more clear if we do this first, though. Let's Commune. See what we got. Show me a Prismatic in the yard, please. Come on. Well, we have this. We've got the win next turn, but you play 4 Prismatic Strands for this scenario, and it's not working. That's a bit frustrating. We got Whiteout and the Wind next turn, but I don't think we're going to be alive to see it. Cat's out of the bag. Our opponent knows what we're trying to do, at least. Shiraz is probably feeding the hamster wheel that powers his barbarically simple tech in his house, from what he's told us. It always amazes me. He watches so much of this stuff, and it's like on an old flip phone or something. Draw dead. Draw dead. God, we have 4 prismatic strands for this very scenario to buy us that turn, but no. We're dead. Bloop. Okay. Well, that's burn. We lose a lot of these first games, and then we win the rest, so our toolbox strategy seems to be working. Already up 3-0, technically. All right, well, these guys gain life. This guy has to be targeted. That's always fun times. I don't think we need Oblivion Ring. Whiteout might actually serve a purpose here. I don't think I want journeys. I'll just block whatever happens. I mean, you've got the... no, let me take that logic back. We do have... you know, the Thermal Alchemist guy. He can be kind of a pain. Let's lose part of the combo. I really like Sentinel's Eyes for the, you know, prismatic, being able to attack and do stuff. Seeker's going to be very key. We've already got prismatic. We'll lose this. Maybe 1 priest. Only going to want to see that very late in the game when we've already kind of won, not early. Let's try that. It lost 9 out of 10 games. That's surprising. I've seen a lot of people really misplay that list. You develop it for so long, you get a really close relationship with how to play. I'm not saying you don't know. I'm just, I always seem to be able to beat a lot of the meta with that little list. Okay. Thanks a lot, Prismatic. Now you're in my hand. All right, we'll keep. What do we throw out? We'll get rid of the combo here. We don't see a tribe yet. Let's do this. We're just going to play that Seeker, and it'll probably die, and we're going to feel sad. I know I should. Am I coming across that cold? I apologize to my viewers. I lost a lot of weight about 1.5 years ago, and I've kept it off, and that's one of the biggest drawbacks, boy. You just shiver time. I've got this cool little military cap I really like to wear, but it casts too much of a shadow on my head, so... Plus people will be like, who's that? Speaking of who's that, I might have my... Shall we go for it? That's Gas Seeker. We're probably just going to eat you know what, but at least we've got to play here. So I might... My son's been wanting to play some Pauper for you all, so I got to be like a helicopter parent, though. There's so many little bells and whistles to stream in, at least at the quality I like to. Miss watching Little Fight, his D&D group. Woo! We get a reprieve from the governor. His cool little D&D hangout group has been absent for the holidays. Speaking of which, I forgot that in 2 weeks it's Christmas, so obviously I won't be streaming on that day. We'll have family, but we'll be here for New Year's. It'll be good times. I think I'm just going to go aggro here. Really, really, really want Tribe to show up. You know what? Let me do this. Let's play this. We'll do this here. Bloop. I'm just happy we're going to gain some life. Seeker of the Way is not going to be long for this world. Bonk. And we'll attack here. You know, I think I'm just going to... I was thinking of returning the Ash Barrens. I don't want to lose that much tempo with active Prismatic Strands and not a discard outlet. So let's change the plans. It's only going to be a 3/3, and that'll still be dead meat. So I'm going to just return the Sentinel's Eyes. We'll cycle the Ash Barrens with the Ash Barren mana for green next turn and sit behind a Prismatic Blanket of Love. Hey, Mtmentat in the chat. All right. Set Sapphire loose for Pauper streaming? Yeah, that'd be... His voice is growing ever deeper. He might have a future as a broadcaster with that with his voice lately. He's just got a tiny bit of a lisp, so got to fix that. It's a cruel world, I tell you. Thanks for the birthday love the other day, Mtmentat. Always one of our awesome supporters on our little Buy Me a Coffee site. It's frustrating because now you can just make the Buy Me a Coffee / if I did it nowadays, it would just say Propaganda instead of this, terrible. But if anybody's interested, you can just Google the same. Hey, I like this. All right, let me get our mana right. We'll get green. Yeah, if all hell breaks loose, we can at least discard it to the tribe. Go from there. Let's do this. We'll get Skyfisher out of anything but Fire Blast range. I guess it could... What do you say? It could eat Needle Drop and a Bolt. That's true. At least we've got our little white lightning bolt showing up here. I just like coffees. As do I. Bonk. So even with that forest tapped, this is a nice little sneaky move with the Tireless Tribe. Not that you want to really be wanton with your Prismatic in this matchup. It's going to take quite a bit for us to freeze out. Now, what I really want to see here is Tethmos, so I can get another Seeker. Okay. And here we go. I think we'll just hold off and use Prismatic no matter what, because we know Rift Bolt's coming. And we're already at 12. Woo-wee! I think we'll keep this for maybe we find our treetop love here. Boop. What's cool here is because of Vigilance, Prismatic can be used twice. Twice as nice. Red Fire Blast. One card in our opponent's hand. It's probably Searing Blaze. Nope, nope. Okay. And we will say no. To which they may have an answer when it's on the stack. Feels pretty cool though. Even a Kill the Marauders just runs right into that Skyfisher. Skyfisher's got no right to be in the air with a butt that size. That defense on that thing is gigantic. It smashes into Mole Drifters. It's like, what? All right, 1-1. I did not foresee this being this deck doing so well. I mean, we've played a lot of Rogue though, so. And in truth, the one list that was giving us a headache and then the opponent lost their connection was Elves, so which is definitely tier 2 and above. For those of the who's at home, we have life, but we don't have much else, do we? Yeah, we can't do that. Come on, give me a hand. All right. Yeah, we'll keep this. Don't need more of those. I sure love the color palette on Tireless Tribe. Just so washed out. A little sandstorm and a little tilt and the wind blowing. Awesome art. Okay, we can turn on our Seeker. See if that becomes relevant. Another thing I like about that Sentinel's Eyes is that you're able to trip the tribe. I was a little afraid at the beginning of the stream that I might regret cutting one Sentinel's Eyes, because I did have 4 in the original when I did have the solid footing plan. But through playtesting and stuff, 3 felt good, especially with Commune, and they keep coming back, and 4 got pretty crazy. I think so too, Vlad Tepes. Captain, I should say. Boop. Oh, we're already at 16. What's going to happen here? Hey, look at that. That'll be good next turn. This is when I wish this gained life, right? I think it might pay more dividends to use that Dawnbringer to kill that curse. I think that'll pay more dividends than just gaining 2 life. This guy's just so euphoric. He's like, oh! I think so too, Super Pooper. Boink! If we're alive by then, we shall see. The old needle drop trick. Okay, well, we've got defense in that. And since we've already seen a Spark Mage, I'm not going to attack here. I'm just going to play this dude out, and we'll blow up the curse. It'll only take 2 turns for that to go. Actually, if we really need to... might as well get the damage in because we've already got a white untapped creature. And we look really defenseless here, but don't really want to use the strands here, but we have the option thanks to Tireless Tribe if you look closely. Alrighty. I think I'll let that die. I'm happy to block there, right? Strange. Of course, we're pretty naked here if we don't have any access points there. Okay. And can we get a turn, please? Wow, cool. We're alive! Now that I've got double, I can play this pretty aggro here. I can just be like, what? We got our dude. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to keep everybody back. Scenario there where I lose both. Shirazaban. I think we've got some new points. I figured out if it looks like it in our little viewer rewards. We have this new option now. This is when you really want this. We'll discard this. I'm kind of glad this showed up. We'll do this here. We'll turn off all damage this turn. A little bit of a time walk. But I've got a new feature for a lot of points where you can like, what is it? You like invest points and then you're able to tell me how to sideboard. I think that's all right. We haven't lost yet. 4-0. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to go use the restroom as we go visit with somebody I mine a lot of old footage from, Conan O'Brien's Late Show. He's got a little superhero thing that sometimes I like to roll to. So anyway, we haven't lost yet. I did not foresee that. We'll be back right after this.
First up, from Bogota, Colombia, He fights crime all day and all night and somehow never gets tired. It's Captain South America. Give him a hand. Up next, he's an incredibly even-tempered guy who flies into fits of rage whenever he's assembling IKEA furniture. It's the Swedish Hulk.
Hulk smashing!
Our next superhero is from the Middle East, and her power is her incredible amount of freedom in a very closed society. She has the ability to drive a car all by herself without a male chaperone. It's the Saudi Black Widow. With that, she's got a valid driver's license. That's hard to do. Next, with Greece on the brink of bankruptcy, they need a hero now more than ever. It's the Greek god whose power is the ability to make all money worthless. Say hello to not doing so well, Zeus.
Available at all fine skincare superstores.
And we're back. I think this is who we just played. Let's see if we get lucky again. Keep here. Yeah. Oh, it's a new deck. Okay. Don't mind the same opponent as long as it's a new deck. What's the plan? What's the plan? This is intriguing. I think we're going to be a little boring start here. We'll just get our mana right. Optimally, I think next turn we probably drop the Vessel and the Bodyguard. What do we got here? Mono black. We're going to get Chittering Rats, just in case. Huh. Change the plans again. We'll do that, and I'll bring out a Bodyguard. Opens up our options for the next few plays. Boy, nice if Tribe shows up. That'd be cool. The last thing of the show, right? These are one of the old banners. My son has so many of these banners in his room. I usually always go with, what is that? Elspeth, some awesome spell and commander that he plays that I usually have behind me. But this time I went with elves because we're playing a little bit of green. So we'll get a change of scenery. How's that? This kind of bodes well for us. Let's drop this. Yeah, let's wait just in case he's got a Chittering here or something. Who knows what we're up against here? Just glad we're seeing something that isn't forests, right? We'll just write MBC for right now. Yeah. Still not sold on this Vessel of Nascency. I think Grapple of the Past might be the what did I learn today sort of moment. Seems, who knows? Vessel is a nice one drop though. Once it's out, it feels pretty OP. That's it, Captain Vlad Tepes. Thank you for that. Elspeth Conquers Death. That's right. Alrighty, we got a nice journey target. Not that we're going to need it, but with Tribe, I think we will. So, I was lying. Boop. Let's do this. See what we're going to get. Ooh, we really like Tethmos in this matchup. Boop. Any day of the week. We love, 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 love this. Finally, this thing is working. I technically haven't lost yet, so I can't really say that. But you know the grindy element of it, you kind of want the Vegas, right? The lights, the look at this, trying to kill this, bam, boom, bing, pow. All this stuff's going down. Ooh, now our mana's right, so I don't really need to fight too much going on here. I think we're just gonna play this, and we'll just play Tethmos. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Now, technically, depending on what he does here, I can Mutagenic into a Bodyguard. But then he could just trip the Witch, but it still has Summoning Sickness. So let's pull this off. We don't have any use for this mana, so I'm just going to use green. And I'll get back Seeker of the Way. He's like, what? Wait, what's happening? It'd be nice if that was damage-based effects, but whatever. Tethmos goes down. Or does he? Do I just keep him around? I think I do. Yeah. Take that, Verdict Man. Boy, edicts for days, huh? All right, turn it. I believe we're just going to journey Skyfisher. Kind of a boring game plan here. Start off with the obvious, just in case he can kill his own dude. We don't want to journey our own guy. Always. If you play Kombaji Witches, get the new art. Not this. Ugh. Kmart art. Bonk. And let's do this to here. I really like Ash Barrens against Chittering Rats because you just hold on to them and then you can get rid of stuff. You don't get locked out. Whoosh, there we go. So you got Edict number 8, 9, and 10 here. Captain Vlad Tepes like in the original art. There's a bit of a nostalgia argument I guess you could make, but alrighty. Boy, this is just like kill everything deck. Problem with this style in the current metagame, though, is with Affinity, they just sit there and wait until they just fling you, and it's like, have fun. Everything's on the stack, all this removal, and you're just dead. Outside of, like, ostracize effects, it's quite the gamble, which is why you don't see much of it going on anymore. As much as I'd like to wait around for a little aha, I want both the cards in my hand. Chittering Rats I'm not too afraid of here. Are we going to finally lose? I would have bet a lot that I was... The odds of me having a really successful outing with this list were pretty low in my opinion, but so far so good. I mean, when you put this much life gain and staying power in a list, it can be a pretty good time. All right, you always want to favor Tethmos here because you only get so many shots, especially against a removal-heavy list here. Have to put the Umbra on Tethmos if this goes down. That's for sure. I've always liked... all right, well, there's Tribe. There's our combo against a removal-heavy deck, right? I say we just go for it. Maybe they're out of options, right? Bloop. Do we have... Nope. We'll bring out Tribe. We've got enough to Umbra and Journey, but then it's like, then what, right? And Umbras aren't very good against Edict effects, which is outside of Victim of Night, all we've seen, but it's like an old school list. The artwork and Victim of Night, you don't see that much anymore. Yeah, I think you're right, Super Pooper. It's like, I'm just going to kill everything. I'm fond of those styles. I play that a lot sometimes. There's that Blackthorn from back when I placed in a Challenger 3. Elite. Well, I know he's off to the Gary plan. Oblivion Ring. No. Cleric. Ring can sit in your hand, and if he has a Chittering Rats lock, that'll be pretty lame. Man, come on, list. I wish this hit over there. This is so unelegant the way this looks. We are playing a discard list, so we're kind of playing right into Chittering Rats if he's got it, but we've at least got a Journey for it, so we'll slow roll. Big UFC fight tonight. Anybody going to watch it? I know we're getting it. Having a few friends over. So hard to vote against Dustin Poirier in the main event. That guy's... Both their journeys to where they've been is just insane. That might have been a misclick there. If he's got a discard effect, I probably would have wanted to give him the option of not seeing the combo. Or Journey was probably the right play there to hide. We'll try and turn some stuff off here. Down comes another Journey. Yeah, like this guy just crawled out from like a 2005 rock. Even the Chittering Rats art, right? Okay, we've got 3 more tribes left, but this is silly. There's no way I'm going to be able to tribe combo here. The amount of removal our opponents pack in here. So I think the only reason they have cards in their hand is because we don't have an active creature out. So except for the first game, we lost every first game and then we won the match. Like I said, that kind of sometimes when you take notes like that, you can look and say like, oh, this is very dependent on the sideboard. Of course, throughout my Magic career, that's kind of been the thing. If I lose, it's always the first game, and then I usually come back pretty strong. Gary's here. We kind of had the right moves here. We just a little bit flooded. And he had the double whammy for Tethmos there. All right, let's keep our flexible mana up. Let's see if we can get something relevant. Seeker of the Way showing up. Benevolent Bodyguard. I'm tempted to grab that Bodyguard. Just in case they drop an Obulete, I can sack it in response. Let's just try to go for the win. I know it's not going to happen, but come on now. We grabbed Seeker. That probably would have died. The cool thing, too, though, with that Umbra, we haven't seen it yet, but sometimes on a Skyfisher, that's brutal. It's 5 in the air. It's pretty relevant. So I'll pitch the Plains if he activates this. You know what? Yeah, if he does it again in response, though, I'm a dead duck. I'm not quite sure if that's worth it. Well, let's see if he does it. Yeah, probably want to keep that. Of course, we could top deck it, but then what? What's our graveyard looking like? We've got 2 more. We're halfway through the list. Anybody in the chat want to vote on this? Like, keep it alive? I'm going to keep it alive just because we've seen so many edict effects. So if I draw something that's a little bit more relevant, I want to at least have something that can die. I mean, it's going to die to Pestilence next turn anyway, so all depends on what we draw here, if this feels like a decent play or not. Leaning towards or not. Yeah. Boy, how good's the Dawnbringer Cleric going to be here, right? So if we draw like a land here, we'll just scoop. Man, that tribe's so big. Just 2 activations, it's a 1/9. All right, we scoop. Our deck's not liking us in these first games. Bloop. All right, Dawnbringer time. Man, that card's grown on me. The old What Would You Learn segment we like to go to. I'll try to remember to do that, but this is definitely something I might want 3 of. Just crazy good. All right, we'll bring this in. And the tribe combo. I'm going to get rid of Whiteout. Or have you seen this before, right? We'll get rid of a Strands. Maybe 2 Strands. Surprisingly not that great against mono black. We've got options there. We haven't seen too much of those. This and there. Scattershot might be an option as far as just edict food, right? Oh, you're gonna? Did you do the thing? I didn't see like an alert. You can do it. Well, do you want to? We've only got a minute 40. It's up to you. Or we can save it for next week. It doesn't have to be mean. There should be a thing on there as long as I've won like a game or two. That'd be so cruel to have like a really bad Twitch outing, and then like the last game it's like we've got this, and then somebody's just like boards in like all this life gain against infect or something. That'd be funny as hell. Yeah, we want to play first. All right, let's see if our deck agrees with us. Ugh. This hand does nothing. Wait around and hope, and we need stuff. So we'll mulligan. All right, this is hopeful. We'll keep this. We'll throw back an Umbra here. Umbra, I'm not going to wait around on. I'm just going to throw it on something to get something back. So we will keep. So yeah, if you're new to Propaganda or the chat, we've got this new thing. If you look at our little, I don't even know where people find that. Does it just tell you when you right-click on something? Let's see, done. But you can spend Pauper points, which you can earn as you watch our show, and you can use them to make me sideboard the way you want. I wish I could think of more things like that, because I was like, wow, that's something I've never seen done. Let me do that. But if you have a good idea or something like that, as I'm always saying, just email us, propaganda@gmail.com. And you got some cool idea or whatnot, that's good times. Yeah, I would imagine it would end up pretty hard. All right, so this guy's just going to die, but because we have a Tethmos in hand, we're not too worried about it. Even if our mana doesn't develop anymore here, we still have the Skyfisher, bounce lands, Sentinel's eyes, attack for, what would that be, 4? Life gain? That's pretty cool. Yep, they're waiting for the little play. Well, let's put 2 creatures out before we do this, because we've seen so many Edict effects. Thank you for that, Nim Chimpskey. Got an Edict? I don't want to invest too much. I'm sure you do. Bloop. Splat. We'll return a plane. Bloop. We already played a land. Yeah, might as well. Tethmos still another turn or 2 away. Hopefully we don't see a Bazooka Bog, right? Not a list you see all that often anymore with mono black. Affinity just steamrolls it. Here comes Oblivion. Ouch! And it grabs Sentinel's eyes too, I believe. Or is that just equipment? I'm not about to read that paragraph. Oh, 2 for 1. I'm glad we're not trying to play. What's that? Devotion. That's what it is. Yeah. That sort of thing. Well, I'm sure we're going to lose them, but I'm just trying to keep some sort of semblance of tempo here. Maybe plays a Chittering Rat and we can get back our Seeker of the Way and have a really big High Priest. They got to be salivating when they see like somebody do that with some recursion creature like that. It's like, I got it. Okay, outside of a Defile here, I think we're in good spirits. Are we going to get back a creature? Woo! All right. Let's see if he's got it. At least if he tries to kill it, we'll be all right. I'd really like to have that Sentinel's eyes back. I could just keep turning this on and on and on, but it ain't going to work that way, is it now? Attack! We're hitting for 5 here. Nothing to sneeze at. Tethmos with a 4-turn clock. How you like that? Smack! I hope he forgets the Umbra effect and just tries to kill it and not edict me twice. Yep, that's why we brought in the Cleric. Both for damage prevention and such. Tempted to run one of those main. Man, that card's a lot. Okay, don't mind seeing that at all. Return that. Man, I wish I could play that Sentinel's Eyes. It's usually in our yard, and we could just start piling things up. Do I just attack here? I'll just come over with the priest. Yeah. We got the link right there. You can just download it. You'll see it in the chat here below if you're watching on YouTube in the future. Right now we are in the present, and presently we have not lost yet. Like I said, fun little list. I'm not... Do we bring back the Umbra? I think that's the better play here. Yeah, I'm going to bring back the Umbra. If he Chittering Rats us, that's fine. But something's going to die this next turn, and if it's High Priest, that's lame, but we just have a little more options here. Plus, there might be another Obulete, and I don't want the Umbra to fall forever, so... Probably got a Gary turn here. I'm wondering where all these edicts are that we saw in that first game. Okay, that blows. Whatever. No big mystery there. We got an edict headed our way. What's going on? No. Obulete. Obulete. What? Utter defeat. That'll be 3. That'll be that. That'll be there. We don't even have an option for that, do we? You know, honestly, I think we can just get there with Skyfisher. There's no target for the High Priest, so... And I'll sacrifice that Seeker. I'll just squish on through here. Do I just go all in here? I'm going to just attack. I could lose the High Priest. It's the best block scenario. He double blocks. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with everybody. I don't want Gary to ruin our day. Put the screws to him here. Yep. Keep in mind that Skyfisher's hitting for 5. You get so used to seeing the stats and you don't remember, just like I didn't remember that Skola Cola is an enchantment creature. We did win that match, but I could have won it a lot easier. Read your cards, folks. We have no representation of a surprise here. Well, it's kind of refreshing to be hellbent against Chittering Rats. It's still a 6-point swing here. He's at a low enough life total now that Kombaju Witches is not the best play. We gain some life. Reading the card usually explains the card. It's either he's got Gary or he doesn't. Hopefully it's got Victim of Night. That Skyfisher will still live. And it's Gary. Yep. Right back in it, folks. We're still afraid of an edict effect here. I even messed around with adding a swamp for Omen of the Dead so we could get Tethmos back in scenarios like this. You just, you know, you run out of room sometimes and you look at something that's like, you know what, it's starting to win now, so I'm going to have to leave it alone. And that's kind of where things happen. So, yeah, Dawnbringer Cleric, that would be pretty sweet. How would that be the win exactly? Oh, well, maybe I don't see it. No, it's that. So we'll go like this. So there's 2 Chittering Rats about. Do you think it's worth holding on to this plane? It's about a 50-50 scenario. I think it'll keep him from attacking. I'm gonna play it. There's a dead duck here. All right. How would the cleric win the game here? I'm not seeing that. Yuck. I think we're going to finally lose a game. I mean a match. I haven't lost one yet. The little engine that could. Tell you, you protect your creatures and gain a lot of life, you can usually find ways to win, and that's pretty much the onus of this deck. Apologies, I didn't make Treefolk work. About 1 in 4 games so far. It's usually how I kill people, but we saw a preponderance of green lists. Huh? Didn't see that coming. Well, that was really weird. We got really lucky. Technically, we didn't lose, but could easily been about a 3-2 there. So we're going to go over the list here and call it a day. So, oh, hold on. Before I forget, this is the part of the show where I usually do this. So, what did I learn? I learned that I really, really like Dawnbringer. Dawnbringer Cleric is just serving a lot of masters in this list. I'm not quite sure if I'd even want Oblivion Ring in this scenario, because creatures are dealt with this or with blocking. And so yeah, I think what I want to do here is probably swap Oblivion Ring for the 3rd Dawnbringer, because boy, it's such a flexible card. Also, I learned something that I knew I didn't need to learn because I already knew it. I'm just not a fan of Whiteout. Again, I put this in here because I just didn't want people to go, did you think about Whiteout? Yeah, and we saw it just not a scenario that really comes to fruition all that often. And when it does, usually we've got a Seeker and a Skyfisher have done enough damage to people that they're in the teens. And when the tribe has this on it, it's already hitting for quite a bit. And it's not your typical tribe list. So that little extra 2 is very relevant, and it tends to usually get there. So we've got a nice defensive engine here. We've got the recursion here. Might have wanted to play one more Sentinel's Eyes. I don't know. I feel it's right. What I was really, this is the problem child of the list. I kind of a necessity because sometimes Commune just hides from you, and I think it's the best scenario there. So got a lot of things right with this one. Really wish we would run into some like artifact lists, which you see almost every other matchup, and we didn't see a single one, which is why we're running Dust to Dust and such. So anyway, yeah. So we're going to be calling it. We'll be back for the last show of the year next week, because we won't be here for Christmas, but we will be here for New Year's Day and all that good stuff. So anyway, if you like the show and want to support us, our little support things coming up next, if you want to buy us a coffee sort of thing. If not, we'll see you next time, same place, same time. Pauperganda. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Enjoy. We'll be back next week. Adios.